Let me talk to you about the 7 sins of selling. There's certain behaviors that can actually damage your chances of success in selling. For example, assertiveness is often interpreted by a prospective purchaser as unwanted aggression. Persistence can translate into annoying behavior, especially if you're following up too often. And questions can be interpreted as either rhetorical or manipulative. What we do know is that focusing on features can often trigger price concerns, or maybe just that the seller isn't listening. The stark reality is that pushing creates resistance and assertiveness creates defensiveness. We all prefer to buy rather than being sold to. So here are the 7 sins or the 7 pitfalls of selling. All of these behaviors should be avoided. The first sin is that selling is the transference of information. No, selling is actually building trust and transferring belief rather than information. Information can easily be sourced by customers without the assistance of a salesperson, especially in the age of the internet. Salespeople need to serve as a filter to distill information down to what really matters for the client. Facts merely serve to support emotional decisions to buy from someone they like and trust. Emotion creates more influence than information. The second sin of selling is that talking is the best way to influence. That's not true. Do you know that words only account for 7% of received communication? You must engage the other person visually with positive body language with all of the way that you communicate. Otherwise, they'll just tune out. Effective communication means asking insightful questions and actively listening, clarifying your understanding to get to the deeper meaning. Listening rather than talking is actually the best way to influence. The third sin of selling is believing that features are benefits. Not really. Neil Rackham taught me many years ago that a benefit is only a benefit if it solves a specific acknowledged problem that the customer says that they have. And those benefits need to ultimately reduce their time, save them money, increase revenue and margin, or create less risk. Prattling on about spurious features and benefits can just create distracting noise or price concerns, which prevent the buyer from focusing on where the real value is. The fourth sin of selling is believing that objections are opportunities to close. My opinion is actually that objections are evidence of a mistake on the part of the salesperson, that they sought to close prematurely. Objections are not buying signals, nor are they opportunities to close. They are again signs that you've made a mistake. It's always better to avoid objections altogether by having them expressed by the client as problems that you can explore together before any attempt to close. Only seek to obtain commitment once you have full understanding of what they really need and that you're sure they're ready to move ahead. Test first. The fifth sin of selling is that the product is the product. The product is not really the product, you're the product. Selling the product, service, or solution is the third and final sale that's made. First, the prospective client needs to be sold on whether you are worth them investing their time and effort. Second, they need to be sold on whether they can trust you and your organization. In business-to-business selling, the very best salespeople tick those first 2 boxes before they even meet the client. That's one of the benefits of using LinkedIn properly. The product is actually problem resolution through you. The buyer will truly engage only once both credibility and trust have been established. That's what you're selling first. Sell yourself before the product, and remember, the very best people do this without actually talking. They do it before they turn up. The sixth sin of selling is a belief that skill and knowledge defines value and success. Although skill and knowledge are important prerequisites, the real differentiator in the workplace and with customers is positive attitude and your ability to deliver results for people. Knowledge and qualifications can easily alienate or come across as being arrogant. People only care about what you can do for them once they understand that you truly understand them. A positive attitude is the biggest differentiator. The seventh sin of selling is believing that success is just a numbers game. Although work ethic is important and you need to understand the prerequisite activity levels that build and maintain a sales funnel and a pipeline, the mediocre people end up being busy fools. Be effective with your time, and this means doing the right things with the right people at the right time. Understand and honor the required activity levels for a healthy pipeline, but understand what progresses customers through that process so that they can buy from you. So avoid the 7 sins of selling and instead obsess about your customer and make it all about them and not about you. Understand how they define value and then establish your credibility and credentials well before the meeting. I'm Tony Hughes, and you can find me in LinkedIn and also on my website rsvpselling.com.